just want to start with a small warning. This is going to be awkward. We are two tech guys sitting in a room full of authors. So we'll try our best to not stray into technology and jargons and try to keep it relevant for the authoring community in the room. So if you can bring up some slides. Now we wanted to have some slides in the backdrop as we speak through the session. All right, yeah, so you can move on to the next one. Yeah. Quick introductions. My name is Adarsh Sudhindra. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer at a company called ExcelSoft Technologies, which is a company based out of Mysore. We are about 1,200 people across the globe. I run a large team of about 200 AI engineers. Day in, day out, my job is to build and innovate, churn out new products for ExcelSoft for our global customers. So I am a hardcore techie. I am into products. I'm a Mysorean. 3 generations as long as I can remember. Lived in Mysore, educated in Mysore, lived in the US for about 8 years, then moved back to Mysore, now joining hands with my family to run the family business, ExcelSoft. I try to keep myself updated. I read a lot of late. In the last 3-4 years, I've been reading tons of leadership and personal productivity books, which also prompted me to write a book called The Compounding Leader. So I'm now happen to be an author in the making. This is my first attempt at a book. So there are tons of leadership books out there in the market. Why one more? In this book, I try to bring in an AI era lens on top of the good old, well-proven leadership principles. So it's particularly aimed at mid-career professionals who are still in the climb, because the book is itself written from the middle of the climb, not from the finish line. So I am still in the middle of the climb. The last 20 years I've now spent growing in the corporate ladder. Started as an engineer and I've grown into an executive position. So I've seen how things work, people, politics, processes, especially in a technology company. I've tried to bring in leadership principles and added an additional layer of the AI era lens on top of the traditional well-proven playbook. So the book is available in the author signing area. After this session, I'll be happy to hand over a few copies for those who are interested. Now, coming back to the session. So the session itself is not about the book. So the session is about the bigger picture of how AI is impacting every domain, especially the domain of reading, writing, and creativity. I have my fellow speaker, Ajay Pramod. Ajay is a good friend and a fellow AI enthusiast. He runs his own company called Netre. He runs consultancy in providing AI solutions to customers globally. So we also together run a community think tank in Mysore called the Mysore Quantum AI Foundation, MQA. It's our small little attempt to bring together a think tank, a community of AI and quantum enthusiasts together. We don't do just technology here. We look at the application of AI across domains. How can you save time? How can you improve your personal productivity? How can you author a better book? How can you increase your business revenue? We help people look at solutions using AI, right? So that's where we are. So let me take, we run sessions, MQA sessions and workshops. This is a Section 8 company. It's completely non-profit. So we are trying our best to give back to the community that enabled us to build a company like ExcelSoft and Netre in Mysore. That's MQA, that's Adarsh and Ajay. So now let's get on with the session itself. So I wanted to talk about the bigger picture. Before we jump into very specific questions I have for Ajay. Humanity, the human civilization has seen several revolutions. We have seen several revolutions. In the 1400s, there was the industrial revolution, the steam engine, the lathe, all came in. A lot of mechanical things came into the picture. Then a few hundred years later came in the electrical revolution, followed by the electronics revolution. Then came the computer revolution. With computer revolution came the internet revolution. That was followed by the mobile revolution, the cloud revolution. So we have seen several revolutions in the last 600 years. Now we are seeing the AI revolution. So why is it so different? This is yet another revolution. So the reason AI stands out is that all the 6 revolutions that we have seen in the past have attacked the muscle worker in us. They have attacked the muscle worker in us. They've automated things. They've helped us lift and shift things. But AI is different. AI is attacking the mind worker in us. AI can think. It can write. It can write poems. It can do art. It can compose music. It can produce movies. So AI is attacking the mind worker in all of us, that is unprecedented, right? We have always had that pride of the human mind, sitting on top of everything else. Now today we have something that is equal or maybe better at doing things that we could never have imagined could do. That brings me to my first question to Ajay. Now, how do you see reading, the whole idea of reading evolve in the era of AI? You have AI writing books. AI can read books and summarize it for you. Do you think people will continue to see reading as a relevant thing, or would they just delegate that to an AI agent to summarize the book for you?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So thanks, Adarsh, for the introduction. So I think AI is largely, a bunch of computer code, but it sits on all the wealth of human knowledge, right? So AI without data is as irrelevant as just a computer program at the end of the day. So you feed in any data, you basically are trying to see a lens on how much it can dissect and kind of, break it down. So I think reading, writing, any knowledge work, what we are trying to do on a daily basis, I think it will see an elevation of the intensity will increase because it will help you at the first or second level, but eventually the taste is coming from the human. So I think as long as you're reading or writing, AI is going to add a level of sophistication to get you the first draft maybe, but the taste is always going to come from the human lens. Yeah.
So do you want to add a little more insight on how I, as an individual, I may be an author or I may be a reader, can make the most out of AI, in my daily life, not by coding my way into it, but using the tools that are available. How can I, read better with the help of AI?
Yeah, sure. So just to give everyone, I think most of you have used ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude in this room. If anybody has not used AI so far? Great. So it's obvious. Some of them, yeah, but I think I'll try to quickly make it up. So there's a lot of data these companies have looked at, and they have indexed it, they've crawled it, they've kind of trained it on these models. So most of the models what you see on my backside are very extremely smart models. They are trained on probably 4 to 5 trillion parameter models. So that means they have a large ingestion of data. And you can see all the photographs today on the internet or some of the videos, what you're seeing, all these models are human-like already. Like they have a maturity of understanding all the data patterns, and they are building content based on, again, what we give. So I think to answer your question, most of the users on this room will be somewhere in this one, right? Most of them are power users. I'm sure some of them are already automating some parts of their business using AI, but largely everybody is creating or using AI on their day-to-day part. So in terms of reading, writing, we'll give you some use cases to go with, but largely everybody in this, I think they'll be in the adopter stage or the power user stage, where you will at least try to build a lot more content, a lot more productivity using AI on a daily basis. So the goal is, again, if I'm using AI and you are using AI, pretty much we both have access to the same computer model. We have access to the same ChatGPT, same Claude. The difference is fundamentally what is my query or what my instruction is, right? So largely all of these instructions, we call it something like a prompt or an instruction or a guideline, however you call it, but largely we call it as a prompt, right? So every time you're talking to AI, it looks something like this. You're standing out there and talking to probably a cluster of computers, which is, we call it GPU. So you are basically putting your small prompt and trying to get it, but it is actually looking into data patterns, into trillions of parameters, and trying to get you an output. And every time you do this, you're kind of thinking, okay, you're prompting the right way, but you're still kind of guessing, because the algorithm is also guessing in the background, right? Trying to give you, okay, what you have asked versus what I should give you back, right? So in terms of the AI, I think everybody's same. So I think only recently the geopolitization of AI models has started, like US blocking some of the AI models. But largely AI, I mean, pretty much I have access to the same AI as you are. But if you see from the way we're gonna talk to AI, I think I mean, if there was a day where knowing computer was kind of you're a computer literate, but today if you want to use AI, prompting is more important. So in our terms, I think prompting is the modern day literacy. If you understand prompting, you are able to get the best out of AI, right? So having said that, I'll go back to this. So again, we are all in the literature festival. So if I were to put the literature festival as a movie poster, it'll look something like this, right? So I'm going to show you a few examples, but I just want you to backtrack. Okay, what did Ajay give or others give this as a prompt to kind of get this output? So then you will be able to correlate how much. I mean, we're going to break few examples for you. So this was a movie poster, and then we'll put them on the time cover. So if Mysuru Literature Festival was on the time cover, it looked like this. We are in a book festival, so we should put on a book cover. So let's put it on a book cover. So now let me break this down, this image, specifically what you're saying. Again, if I'm blocking your view, I'll probably step out. Just let me know. Yeah. So if you're, yeah, okay. So if you're looking at this, so let's break it down in very simple parts. This is a prompt I gave. It's very long prompt. You might not see it from backside, but let me just cut it down for you, right? So I gave it a task. Boss, you need to create an image, and then I gave it some context, which is the the founder image, some of the logos, and then I gave it some lot of formatting. Like, hey, you need to do this particular book in a 3D way, in some kind of graphics way. And then we have the constraints, right? So I said it what not to do. Don't make it comical. Don't make a lot of text or structure. So now, this is what I want you to carry. Every time you're talking to a computer, if you're drafting your instruction in either of these sections, you're able to get the best output, right? So if you break it down, it's task, format, topic. And again, if you have tone, context, constraints, that varies. But largely, constraints should be there. Because AI, the moment you don't give constraints, it'll kind of start thinking in a very larger context. And sometimes you can also give it a role. That means, hey, think like editor, think like a scientist or doctor, right? Or sometimes you can give it a goal. I am trying to write a book, and these are the first 3 chapters, and based on the particular goal, it'll try to break it down. Or sometimes you can give it an example. I mean, there are fantastic authors. There's a lot of data these AI models have kind of already indexed on, and these models basically use that as an example and try to give you more content out of it, right? So I took the same thing. So if you see what I showed you as my prompt, again, the AI kind of broke it down for you. So it's the task, context, constraints, and the format. So now, in terms of, most of you would say, hey, AI will replace us. No, I think at a stage, like I said, AI clearly lacks taste. It is trained on all the data. So if you see the AGI benchmark is, even before computers were invented, if it can rewrite all the books on its own, I think AI has probably achieved a lot of autonomy. But right now, it can still predict the next character only. I mean, most of the examples in terms of text or images, video, what you see, it's all predicting the next character. The entire algorithm GPT works that way. So it is a good assistant for you. So you should definitely use it on your day-to-day use case. But largely, you should not kind of think, okay, this is an alternative for a human, right? Like we were still very, probably decades away from anywhere going closer to that. Yeah. So this is a prompt template. Again, you have seen ChatGPT 1 to ChatGPT, whatever, 5.5, 5.6 right now. This has been same for across all the AI models. You use Claude, you use Gemini, you use Grok, you use ChatGPT. If you write your prompt in this structure, you are talking to AI in the right and most advanced possible way. AI models can change. Either to create an image, you can use this. You can create a document, use this. You can create a photograph, use this. So technically, the prompt template is same, right? So now, breaking it down, again, I think we are a generation where we have a lot of content now because of AI, because of our access to mobile phones, smartphones. So there is a larger crowd which is scrolling right now. But again, most of you in this room, I believe you are in the reading, thinking, and writing category. We are definitely one step ahead. If you see, even reading is 10 times harder than scrolling, right? So if anybody is reading, you're already 10 times ahead of the scrollers. So now I want to help the readers, I want to help the thinkers, I want to help the writers. In my next 20 minutes, I'm going to give you some tips which I think Adarsh asked me about reading, writing, but we also try to cover some of the ways you can actually interact with it, right? If you are trying to publish a book, or if you are already published a book, or you're looking at your next book idea, I think you will find some references from a technology level. The book idea is pretty much yours, and I think you are going to put that to in a book fashion in your own structure, but with the help of some of the tricks we're going to teach you. So AI is largely like a mirror, right? So the way you're going to talk to it, it's going to give you the output in the same way. So the structurally, if you put it something non-obvious, it's something like a garbage in, garbage out. Like if you ask silly things, it'll give you silly things. So let's look at reading and review. That's the first section. So reading, I think most of you already read the book. So but again, I don't want to encourage where you upload the entire PDF file, because there is DRM policy. So you need to, I think most of the portals also don't give you the entire PDF. But if you are reading a book and you want to kind of understand how your reading is going through, so you can look at a particular technique, which is microscope. So you can ask AI, than asking, okay, boss, summarize this. You can ask it, okay, you look at this particular structure and try to give me a detailed summary and kind of slowly unpack it for me. So what we have done is summarize this is easier way, but it will summarize it in its own context. But you are asking it to follow or kind of go and look at the underpinnings, right? So next way is identifying blueprint. Most of these books, the author has a blueprint in the mind. And now when you're trying to read a particular category or a section, you want to quickly kind of get a grasp. AI is extremely good at this because it can identify data in multiple layers, in multiple directions, and kind of give you a simple structure output, right? So if you look at this, what is this chapter about? That's a simple question we might ask. But if you ask the same thing, I'm going to give you a particular snapshot or a bunch of images, you kind of break it down for me, it will give you probably a better structure. So identifying the blueprint of any book is easier. The next technique is courtroom. Again, I think you would have already done this. If you are trying to agree with the author when you're reading the book and you want to kind of understand, okay, what is the counterpoint, right? So it's much, much easier to see, kind of mentally you're kind of pushing back with the author when you're reading with the book. And you can help AI as an assistant for that.
Essentially, in that role, you're asking the AI agent to assume the role of the author, so that you can interact directly with the author and talk to the author and get his perspective. So AI is fantastic in assuming roles. That is one thing that we apply in our day-to-day tasks. So you can ask AI to assume the role of the author and interact with the author, which would be very hard in the real world to do.
Yeah. So again, if you have written a book, now you want to review it, right? So now, normally when you write in a particular tone or in a particular structure of the story or the context, but now you can review it, because if you had to write 3 drafts or 5 drafts of different role to analyze your own book, it's much, much harder. But use AI for that. So if you're reviewing any book, so you can give it, ask, hey boss, review this in 5 roles or 3 roles, for example. I've taken 5 roles, but it could be X, right? You can figure it out, your structure. So rewrite this better rather than that saying, hey, try to give me multiple variations of the same topic. So that way, it is trained for that. So because it has so much data, it'll analyze your base context in multiple dimensions and try to give you a quick summary, right? And the reviewing part is, again, this is a technique I use. Every time I read, we miss out a lot of data. So you can ask it to mirror your thoughts in a much, much different way. So is my writing good? See, remember, AI is always a yes man. It'll always say, is my idea good? It'll say yes. Because it is made to make you user-friendly, so it will never disagree with you. So you need to kind of ask it in a way where you kind of reflect real thoughts, without the barrier. So I have talked about roles. So I think this is one trick all of you can use where you can ask it editor, critic. Again, this varies from domain to domain. I am largely with a reader or a author audience. So these are the roles. I think it's fine, easier. So whenever you're giving, you can say you are a senior editor reviewing this. The moment you specify this, most of these AI models work in two different architectures. One is a dense model, one is a mixture of experts. So in the mixture of experts model, automatically these kind of functions or roles get automatically invoked. So you are technically not asking the AI to guess, but automatically it works as an editor because it's been trained on all the editor-related content.
So both of us, me and Ajay, use this review functionality of an AI agent, very aggressively in our own work. Right, the book I showed in the second slide that I launched, I got my own book reviewed by multiple AI agents. So I had Gemini review my book, wearing multiple hats, or I asked Gemini to be critical about specific things in the book, talk about the weaknesses of the book, talk about areas where readers may get bored, so that I can change those sections and make the book much more engaging. So you can ask AI to read your book multiple times, wearing different hats, and you can ask it to be particularly critical about specific things, giving you first-hand feedback even before you roll it out to your audience.
Yeah, the other technique is most of you might be writing in multiple languages. So if you're writing in English and you want to understand, okay, how this will look like in Hindi or Tamil or Kannada. So again, you can use AI. AI is extremely good at this because it's been trained on 140, 150 languages already. It's all there in the existing base model probably of ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. So the moment you ask it, okay, if I want to convey this message in English, if I want to again correlate this to another language, what I'm trying to write this, is it relevant? Because sometimes the language translation loses the exact meaning what you're trying to convey. So AI is extremely good at this, right? So now again, in some cases you can ask it to interview you. This is where when you are, again, trying to brainstorm it. Like I said, if you are thinking, if you want AI to be your thinking partner, it is already there. So if you want to do any task, before answering it, just ask it, boss, you ask me the 5 questions about this topic. And if you're convinced with that 5 questions, I think the AI is already having some subject matter knowledge on that particular topic, right? Else, if you're depending on the AI output, if the question itself is irrelevant, the output is largely bad. The next is argue back. I think I already spoke about this. AI is going to be a default yes man in most cases. Till you give it permission, it will not argue back with you. It'll agree for everything. If you ask me smart, most of you, phones, it'll definitely say, in any context, it'll ask, your response is the right response. Because it's been trained to be user-friendly. So next is writing with AI.
Yeah. So one thing that we wanted to kind of discuss after reading was, now we all know that AI can write books. AI can write articles. AI can write detailed 5-page, 10-page articles, but it can also write books. So in an era where AI can write books, why should anybody in this room, why should anybody in this room even take a stab at writing a book? Why don't we delegate all that to AI? We want a candid response and some tips and tricks, not a polite one.
I think the writing is, again, like I said, the taste, the data patterns is already there. The writing context, it can write to you as a scientist, it can write to you as an author, it can write to you as probably some of the famous authors because their data is already there, it's been trained on it. But giving that storytelling, the structure, how I want to unlock, if I'm writing a fiction or non-fiction, depending on what you're trying to write, you can unlock your entire story playbook in a way you want to control the audience. So I think it's extremely good if you have a particular idea, but you want to kind of structure it. I think it's a great thinking partner. It'll structure it for you, but the idea has to be naturally owned by you. Yeah.
Any tips?
So we will quickly look at a few tips. So if you're writing, again, not every AI is good at everything. So remember that. AI is extremely good at one particular task, and some of the large 4 models like Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, and your Grok, I think they are the only models which are general purpose. Everything else is special purpose models. So in this case, I'm going to teach you one technique where you can use it. It's called meta prompting. Many times we don't know how to prompt. I gave you all these sections, 5, 6 sections. How am I going to write all these prompts? No, you can again ask the AI to write a larger prompt for you. That is a technique of meta prompting, where I'm going to give you a small prompt and ask it. So in this case, I'm asking it to build a simple nano banana prompt, and it's kind of, it gives me a larger prompt, right? It's for an org chart, which we have just scribbled out. And now the output, it takes some time, and it kind of builds the particular org chart. So today's models are extremely smart. They are, character consistency, everything. So this would have taken me at least 20 minutes to do it on PowerPoint, but now it all comes in one single chart output, right? Because I was able to meta prompt it, and I would taken the meta prompt to a AI which generates image, right? So again, another thing for research, so if you're researching about any topic, if you're writing about any content, you need a lot of research. So doing the internet research is one step behind today, because you have access to deep research, right? Again, I'm going to show you examples. So on ChatGPT, if you go, there is an option called deep research. You can select that and give you a prompt. It'll scan the entire internet, because they have kind of indexed it, but they'll still make a lot of calls for you on behalf. And the same thing on Claude. I think if you select the research option, you should get it. But once you do the research, in this case, it took 30 minutes. It went on the internet, looked at multiple patterns, came back, and then once it has it, so it has so many data points. Again, this is subject to the topic what you're searching on, but now, once you have the research, you can split it out. You can make it a PowerPoint, you can make it a document, you can make it an image. So you can add a section of this research into your particular book or into your particular research and kind of use it. So this is the advanced capability I think we kind of lagged when we write from scratch. Yeah.
That brings us to one very interesting topic, right? So you saw how easy it has become to create images, to create art. It's been more than 6 months since I went to my graphic designer in my company asking for anything, right? So I do it all by myself because I have access to some of these state-of-the-art models. So people who would pride themselves on being the best graphic designers out there, their skill is obsolete now. Right? Their skill is not needed. AI can do that for you. Same with deep research. I had a team of 6 people in my company called the market research team, whose only job was to spend hours and hours, days together on the internet, scouting the internet for relevant material and making sense out of it. Now it's been more than a year since I even saw them, because I get all my deep research done on ChatGPT. So this is what we mean when we talk about AI making jobs obsolete, right? So AI can do all of this very quickly. It's very important for every role to quickly look at how AI can take them to the next level, adopt it, and bring it into their own lives. The book I published, again, I keep coming back to it. I did the copy editing. I did the deep research, everything using AI. Now, of course, the core content of the book continues to be mine, but the publisher was so surprised when I gave him the first draft of the book. It cleared every single test that they had, the human test that they had, because I had taken it through 10 or 12 different AI agents with the strictest prompt possible. Right? So that is the power of AI and how AI can help all of us, the author community, the reader community in us, making us more productive, making us more optimal. So the next question to Ajay is on creativity, right? So we know that AI can read and summarize things for you. AI can write. It can be critical about things. It can help you write better. Let's talk a little more about how can AI now be creative. Let's talk about images. Let's talk about video. Let's talk about graphics. Let's talk about cover design, right? So you can write a book, AI can review it, but I want the best cover design, the most professional cover design for my book. I want the best art to be part of my book. How can AI help here?
Yeah, okay. So largely, I mean, before AI, books are the human prompts one person wrote to another, but it was published as a book, right? So these are, if you see the books, they were largely written, the knowledge in a summary as a book and given to you. That's nothing but a human prompt in the context of AI. So now with AI, because it's been trained on all of our data, all our images, video, content, it can also recreate a lot of it, right? So let's see some use cases. But before that, if I have a skill, can I save that prompt every time? I don't want a prompt. I can save that and share with you as a skill. So this increases productivity like everything, right? So if you are on ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, you should go back and check skill. there's a lot of skills, and skills are nothing but a simple MD file. So you will see skills like this. You can download any skill, add a skill, and then basically use any of the skills. So in this case, there are document co-authoring or exam. So this means somebody has already written a skill, a detailed instruction on how to use this particular functionality, and then you can reuse it. So I'm going to give you a quick example. So in this case, I can upload a skill. I'll go and upload a skill. So I'm downloading some skills from the internet, just a zip file. And once I upload the draft NDA skill, this is already in my account. I can just go and invoke that skill, /draft NDA, and I'm going to give it some context. It'll run some time, and then my entire document is ready. So because I have no clue about how to write an NDA, I use somebody's skill in my account, and I'm able to reuse it. So this is the power of productivity with AI. So if your internet is filled with skills, you'll find a lot of websites which has a lot of skills. Again, we'll send out the meeting notes, so you'll see these links. But you can use skills to read, you can use skills to write, you can use skills to create content also. So coming back to images, so I'll quickly skip through this. I mean, this is one. You can also connect to your applications, it will just get much better. So we'll just skip through this. So there's a bunch of built-in skills available. You can go and check it out. And all these plugins already give you a lot of skills, and you can extend them. The beauty is, hey, there is a productivity skill, there is a writing skill. Can I add my contributions to it and make it my personalized writing skill? For sure. You can ask just AI to do it. It'll create a custom skill for you, and you can add it to your account. So AI is extremely good in imaging now. So we'll see some image use cases as an author. But remember this, you are directing the AI. You are in the steering wheel. The way you're going to turn the car, it's going to go take that route, right? So in this case, I'm going to give it a prompt. But again, it was meta-prompted. I have no clue about what is Kodak Vision 3, all of that. So I asked it, give me a detailed prompt to make Mysuru Palace on Mars. So I kind of got this picture. So this is the difference between AI models I'm talking about. This is Nano Banana. And then we have the same thing on Image 2. Image 2 right now is the SOTA, is the state-of-the-art model. So anything you can kind of do it. So it will be available within this model. So if you look at from author, I'm going to give you one use case. Adarsh, I'll take your book with your permission, and I'll review it. So if you look at any particular object, you don't want to write a prompt, right? You can probably take a visual reference of that particular thing and recreate it. Let's see with Adarsh's book right now. We'll try to redesign his book lively. So this is his book. He has taken a lot of effort to design this, but I like this book, right? I want to see Adarsh's book in this particular thing. So I'm going to go and ask boss, give me the JSON data for it. JSON is a technical schema, JavaScript object notation. You don't have to worry about it. You just need to remember the name, JSON, right? So I'll ask it JSON data. I'll get the JSON data. It gives me a computer-based structure of what is the data, what is our job. We're going to go and copy this. And next, we're going to go and say, hey, use the below reference and kind of recreate the book, what I'm trying to create, right? I just gave it. I'm not even giving his image. I'm just referring it, saying I want to recreate this particular book. So with this technique, it is automatically able to take that data, rebuild in his context, and then share it back. So let's look at both the examples. One was from ChatGPT and one from Nano Banana. So this is the power of AI where you can actually use it from any particular physical reference object and do it. You can do it for any object. I'm just taking one more example just to show you with physical objects. And then if I give it, again, I picked a local bakery here. Automatically the output is there. So yeah, you can look at any of your ideas and kind of convert it into it. Yeah.
We have a small homework for all of you. You can take any book and one other book and extract the JSON from the book and rebuild the cover image for your own book. You can post it on Instagram and tag Mysuru Quantum AI. We'll be happy to review it and share feedback. Yes, sir. That is true. That is true. So, there is no replacement for human ingenuity anywhere. I think what we are trying to claim here is AI can help you become more productive. It can become a co-pilot for you. It can be an assistant to you. The final decision making will still have to be in the hands of a human. No doubt about that.
So I have a question.
Please, please.
So This is Dr. Usharani and myself, Sukanya. We are both from the Journalism and Communication Department.
Yeah.
So I feel that we have a problem with the students because we are teachers. So whatever assignment we give, so they will directly go to ChatGPT and they will write the assignment. So nowadays they don't have anything, zero knowledge, I can say, our students, and we are teaching PG students, and I feel that their education level is that of primary student.
Yeah.
So what to do now? They don't know anything.
No, I have a response to that, ma'am, but I think that's a bigger question about literacy, where education is heading. So I am doing my executive MBA at Kellogg School of Business, which is in the top 5 in the world when it comes to management education. And I use AI to do my assignments, shamelessly. But the professor says, if you don't use AI, I'm going to punish you. Right? There's no point in remembering things. Gone are the days where you are educated or you are evaluated based on how well you remember things. When did Battle of Plassey happen? No, I was made to remember
just
that.
Not remembering things are simple
Even
sentence.
application,
They can't write. The simple sentence they can't write English. And I feel bad that none of the youngsters are here. All are, so they should understand.
That is true, actually. That is true. So generally, if you ask the experts from Harvard and MIT, where is education heading? Humanity will start focusing more on higher order thinking and leave the mundane tasks to AI. So you leave the AI to remember things, to do the basic things, and humanity will go after higher order thinking and higher order creativity is what they say. That's for us to wait and watch how this turns out. There's another question.
I have a question.
Sorry. Yeah.
What are the limits of AI? Like, how much can we upgrade it and train it until we can't? And how good will it be when it reaches its maximum potential?
Ajay, do you want to take that?
Yeah. So I think the scaling laws are still holding good. When I say scaling law, the moment you add more compute, the moment you add more data, the moment you add more infrastructure to scale the existing data models, it's working. So right now, that's why we started with text-only models. We are doing extremely well in movie-like models right now. So these are all the computational power of the. I mean, if you read the GPT algorithm, it's the same thing. So the transformer architecture is scalable right now. But again, the tipping point is still not known. That's why, if you see this year, most of the top 4 companies of the world, Google, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Grok, or SpaceX, they are all investing close to $100 billion on just building data centers. So I think the tipping point is not known, because even you read the recent Mark Zuckerberg interview, they don't know where the tipping point is. So they are going to build up. So I think the next 2-3 years, there will be a large scale build out on the AI infrastructure. So we don't know yet. But I think the digital world is largely automated, if you ask me. In the next couple of years, anything you're doing digitally can be automated, because these systems, if you give it a verifiable output, these systems are extremely smart in detecting the verifiable output. Everybody thought customer support will be automated. You will not believe it is not automated. What is getting automated? Coding is getting automated. Because coding, the output is verifiable easily. You can see the compiler, you can see the error. AI can automatically check, build itself. But customer support is very different. Like, should I give a refund or not? Should I give a coupon or not? So I think it's much, much harder. So anything which is verifiable is going to be automated. Anything which requires human decision making, I think it will be still left to our discretion. So there will be a human in the loop for those systems, yeah.
So are you saying that data is the
probably we can take the question offline. I think we are running low on time.
We are actually running out of
So,
time. You can always carry your questions further ahead. They will be available at the author's launch.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity.